Hey all, and welcome to Shadow Space, and we're commenting on another BCB video. This one is titled, Black Liberals Panic Over Carmelo Anthony Murder Trial as They Declare Support Because He's Black. This is uploaded May 31st, this is being recorded June 1st, and link is in the description.
I'm not speaking for the whole black community. I'm just speaking for myself. Yes, I'm going to say it out loud. Yes, I am defending Carmelo Anthony because he's black.
Okay.
I'm defending him because he's black because you attacked him because he was black. You decided that he was a thug because he was black. You decided that this young man shouldn't have a bond because he was black. You decided that this young man should be charged as an adult because he was black. This young man should get life in prison because he was black. You didn't even know the details. You still don't know the details of the case. So yes, I am defending Carmelo Anthony.
Would you be taking the same position if it were flipped? If there was a team that was primarily black and some white kids were sitting under their tent and they were asked to leave, and the white kids pulled out a knife and stabbed one of the black kids, would you be saying this? No, because the person who was doing the stabbing wouldn't be black. So a black person stabbing anyone that they want is completely acceptable. They can just claim that they were going to be jumped, and therefore any stabbing is justified. But if anyone else goes to stab a black person, that doesn't work. So again, in somewhere like Chicago, if they want people to get stabbed, I don't know. I don't know how else you could interpret it other than violence is acceptable in all instances. Doesn't matter.
And you are attacking him because he is black. You respect nothing. His father said he didn't think this was a black or white issue. He didn't want it politicized. You turn right around and you politicize it. You make it a black or white issue. And you think Black America is supposed to just sit back and let you.
You say that you're defending him because he's black. Is that simply backlash to the fact that he was attacked while black? I don't
find this young man guilty in a court of public opinion before he could even get a fair trial. Now, it don't work like that. It's cause and effect. You attacking him because he's black?
No, it's not cause and effect. It's innocent until proven guilty.
I'm defending him because he's black. That's how that works. You still looking for your Trayvon Martin.
So how are you not doing it because how are you not doing it on behalf of the black community? You're defending him because he's black. You're black, so you're defending him because he's a member of the black community. So you're defending him because of the black community and because of your allegiance to the black community, right?
You still looking to get even. You just have to be the victim. Y'all need to grow up. You need to grow up and have an honest conversation about.
You got stabbed?
About race relations in America. You need to get honest with yourself. And some of you people probably.
You're right. You don't white people. You hate white people. If every single white person were to suddenly die of some sort of disease, you would go out and have a dance in the streets. It would be completely irrelevant. You would be happy. You would be elated. Do you want to sit here and talk about race relations?
We're allies.
Go away.
Back in 2020. Some of you people probably were on the internet going, if Black America...
If they were truly allies, you wouldn't have needed DEI. You wouldn't need DEI now. These people would continuing to be hiring black people at the exact same rates that they were hiring them when DEI was still available. These people aren't allies. They're doing it to play you. You're a pawn. You are a tool. You are something to appease.
Educate us on what it's like to be black in America until something like this happens and the true you come out. So yes, I'm saying the loud part out loud. I'm saying the quiet part out loud. Yes, I am defending Carmelo Anthony because he is black, because you have attacked him because he is black.
Boy. So we got to talk about the Carmelo Anthony trial, which is coming up. here this week is going to not be televised, and I think that's a good thing.
Again, I don't know why him having a 3-point save and I don't know why him having, a 3.7 GPA matters when you think that grades are racist and you want to get rid of them.
Right? There are a lot of people on the right who have commentated on this, basically suggesting that the trial not being televised is a bad thing, right? And I actually think the exact opposite, because I think if it was televised, then that would increase the media attention, the national media attention on the trial, and that would risk the trial not going the way that I think that the trial should go, right? I think that Karmelo Anthony likely is guilty. I do not think that he acted in self-defense when he decided to stab Austin Metcalf in the chest during a track meet, a conflict that escalated over a seat, right? It should have never gotten to that point. Karmelo brought a knife. He used the knife, even though Austin Metcalf did not present with deadly force. He stabbed him in the heart. Austin Metcalf died in the arms of his brother. Karmelo ran away, and when he got caught, he said that he did it, right? He admitted that, yeah, I did it, right? I'm not alleged. I did it. So again, I just find it very, very, very difficult to believe that Karmelo is going to get off, okay? He may not be found guilty of murder, okay? But I think manslaughter is at the very least what he's looking at, okay? And we're going to find out if any of the things that the pro-blacks, the woke revolutionaries said about what happened in order to justify this
apparent... No, it won't matter. If that's the outcome, then they're going to be too busy crying about how the courts are all corrupt and they're all racist and all the judges are they just all hate black people. The whole institution since slavery was nothing more than trying to keep slaves in the property of their slave masters.
Murder is actually true. Like, for example, they
claim that police, like the Republican Party, like everything else, they just flip it to being pro-slavery and anti-black.
The Metcalf brothers were trying to jump.
Karmelo. Abraham Lincoln was anti-black, right? He hated black people and he endured the idea of slavery, right? Everyone knows that.
This is what they claim.
It's common knowledge. It's common knowledge that Abraham Lincoln was an enormous bigot.
Even though there's no evidence whatsoever to back up that claim. But again, they came out with all types of stuff, excuses in order to defend Karmelo. I mean, I think there's some people who are just being honest and they're saying, hey, yeah, we're defending him because he's black, right? We don't care if he's actually guilty or not. He's black and the victim was white and we don't like the white boy. So therefore, we're going to side with a black murderer, right? That's essentially what we have here, okay? But, we're going to get into how the pro-blacks are reacting to the upcoming trial. But first, I want to play a clip so that everybody is familiar with this case and where we currently stand.
File case against Karmelo Anthony in the stabbing death of...
I would be interested to see what evidence they used in this. I would be interested to see what they came up with, because from what I can tell, there really isn't a lot of footage of the stabbing. Maybe more will come out in evidence? I have no idea as the trial goes on.
Is heading to trial next week. The emotionally charged case shook Collin County, led to protests, threats, and doxing calls against both families and even a judge in the case. Maria Guerrero looks ahead to the trial and how we got here.
I mean, this is race relations in this country, where we all just want to sue each other because we hate each other.
Parents rushed to Kirkendall Stadium on a rainy April morning in 2025.
I feel like I don't want to keep harping on it, but I feel like it's Graham Plattner's Marriage, where everyone's in therapy and they all hate each other, but they're still together for some reason. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
We just finished talking to the police.
Not yet realizing the
especially when the therapy doesn't really seem to be working.
Stating details to come. The victim, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf.
The sad part about it is he died in his brother's arms. They were twins, identical twins.
Fatally stabbed in the chest, prosecutors say, by Karmelo Anthony, also 17 at the time. By all accounts, the two did not know each other. The confrontation reportedly over Anthony, a Centennial student, sitting under Metcalf's Memorial School team tent and told to leave by Metcalf. Things turned physical, according to witnesses, even after Anthony reached inside his bag and threatened, "Touch me and see what happens." Jurors will likely see surveillance video showing only a burst of action at a distance. Anthony running away.
We don't know. They could have some sort of cell phone camera footage that doesn't actually release to the public. I have no idea what the defense actually has in terms of evidence.
They'll likely see the knife covered at the scene with a blue tarp.
I don't know what case they would make.
It is Anthony's defense attorney.
The prosecution will not be able to rule out the reasonable doubt that Karmelo Anthony may have acted in self-defense.
And I think in most self-defense cases, the dispute is regarding the reasonableness of the fear.
We asked defense attorney Russell Wilson, not involved in the upcoming murder trial, for insight.
What are the biggest questions that have not yet been answered that could determine the outcome of the trial?
The exact details of what occurred immediately prior to, during, and after the incident.
How is this self-defense?
His $1 million bond significantly lowered. The now 19-year-old faces up to life in prison. His parents went public with concerns for their safety.
I don't know why we're being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial.
Veteran prosecutor.
Do you understand race relations in this country? Aren't all white people racist? Why is this a question? Why don't you get this? I feel like this should be obvious.
Peter Bill Worski will see the murder.
You say it all the time.
Conviction. Judge John Roach not allowing cameras or audio inside.
I'm personally in favor of more open courtrooms because society needs to know what happens in a courtroom.
Maria.
Yeah. Again, if we lived in a normal society, I would agree. I would say, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I would like trials to be televised. I mean, let's be honest. For me personally, as somebody who could live stream the trial, who could, use clips from the trials in my videos, yeah, it's not in my best interest, right? Personal best interest for the trial.
But at the same time, trials are incredibly personal matters. They really dig into a person's life and their history. It isn't the sort of thing that you just want to air to people. Not normally.
Not televised, but it's not about my own personal best interest in regards to, how I think this should play out. It's about the fact that we've seen what happens when you have these highly publicized and televised trials that get national news attention. You have the national news trying to sway the outcome. Okay, we all saw what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay, thank God that trial had the correct outcome, especially for the Second Amendment. But in this case right here, yeah, I mean, I don't want to see that, right? I don't want to see anybody try to intimidate the jurors or anything like that. Like, I think that ultimately at the end of the day, it's better for this trial to stay low key, right? As low key as possible. And quite honestly, I'm hoping that it doesn't turn into what it was, this giant race war when it first happened. Okay. So with that being said, let's react to the pro-blackity blacks.
I have a feeling that especially as the trial gets underway, it's going to pick up steam.
Who are in full-blown
whether it will be as severe as when the stabbing first happened is a question.
Over the fact that this trial is coming up, and it is likely that Karmelo Anthony is going to do a lot of time in prison for his crime. Because, again, these people are supporting Karmelo just because he's black, right? They can't come up with any real reason why Karmelo acted in self-defense, right, legally speaking. So, again, they just default to, well, he's black, he's one of us, so therefore we must support him.
The Karmelo Anthony trial is in June. The 17-year-old who was charged with unaliving Austin.
Why? If they truly wanted him to just move, why didn't he just move? It was raining. He probably didn't want to get wet. That wasn't the argument that he made. He wasn't like, can I just chill here while it rains? Can I help you pack up the tent so I can stay under it for a little bit longer? No, it was reach into the bag and grab the handle of the knife and then say, touch me and find out.
Metcalf in Frisco, Texas.
This situation could have gone any number of ways, and yet it went this way.
And I just want to let y'all know that this is the biggest leave black people alone case that we've seen in years. This case sets precedent because everything about this case was about leaving black people alone. It's unfortunate.
What? Why? It was their tent. If they were going to pack up the tent to leave, he would have had to have left anyways. Whether it was them, whether it was a teacher, whether it was security, didn't matter.
Listen to these people, right? Listen to these people. It's actually unbelievable, right? Everything about this case revolves around leaving black people alone, right? When Karmelo Anthony is the one who went and sat under a tent, right? That did not belong to him, right? It had nothing to do with him. He sat on somebody else's tent, taking up space, okay? And he was asked to leave, and he didn't leave. I'm not sure how you come away with leave black people alone as the takeaway here, right? That's what this is about.
That somebody lost their...
Unless you think that black people should just be able to do whatever they want to do. Unless you think that black people should be able to just exist freely without consequence.
Their life. But this would never have happened if they would have left Karmelo Anthony alone. It don't matter.
No, it never would have happened if he had been under a tent of his own school. It wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been there in the first place.
He was under that tent. It don't matter what he had in his book bag. When they asked him to leave and he refused, if they would have just walked away, this doesn't happen.
If he had just walked away, this wouldn't have happened.
This does not happen. But we know the entitlement. We can tell you.
Yeah.
Where you...
He felt like he was entitled to sit somewhere where he wasn't supposed to.
Sit, and if you refuse, we can remove you.
Well, I mean, you know,
if you sneak your way into a sporting event and you sit down in the chairs and the people and security comes and escorts you away because you don't have a ticket, that is people telling you that you cannot sit in a spot. Like, no.
They have tents.
Absolutely, people are barred from just sitting wherever they want. That's very silly.
For a reason. And this is especially important when you're talking about track meets. People's stuff gets stolen. So, you know, these people try to make it seem like, oh, it's no big deal that Karmelo was sitting under another team's tent. And, you know, they were just freaking out for no reason. It's like, well, have you ever played sports, right? Have you ever participated in a sporting event where you have these hooligans walking around, these young scholars walking around, stealing people's stuff? That happens. So, yes, it makes sense that rain or shine, right? The team who is responsible for the tent, whose stuff is under the tent, is gonna tell some sketchy black teenager, hey, you need to leave, right? That you can't sit under this tent. I'm sorry. And they certainly have the right to.
Even so, he still could have said, oh, my bad, and then gathered his stuff and left. He didn't do that either.
Do that. It's about protecting their stuff. Okay?
Why do you blame one and not the other? Arguably, it's everyone's fault. There's no one acted the way that they were supposed to, and that resulted in this.
Protecting their property, which people have the right to do. What Karmelo does not have the right to do is to stab people in the heart because of that, right? That's who stepped out of line.
But you can't. And this case says it all. This case says it all. They said so many negative things about this young man. This young man wasn't a thug. This young man wasn't in the streets. This young man wasn't a gang member. This was an above average student, a student athlete. He graduated. He's in college. This was a good kid by all accounts.
Oh, I'm sure he was an angel. He was an angel. He didn't do nothing.
Except that he kept a knife in his backpack that he brought to school, and he that one time he stabbed someone in the heart.
Right. An angel who never did nothing, right? He never do nothing, okay? Randomly stabs another teenager in the heart, right? Because again, he's an angel. That's what these people want us to believe. Amazing.
He didn't just turn into a murderer overnight. But let's be honest, we know what this is about.
You're right. So the question is, why did he feel so threatened that he felt like he had to bring a knife? Is the school not safe? Despite the fact that he has this high GPA and all this stuff going for him?
We know what this is about because these are the same individuals who carry firearms and they will put you down in a fist fight. You could be unarmed and they will put you down. But they don't understand what happened with Karmelo Anthony.
Is that literally what happened here? Is he pulled out a knife, he pulled out a weapon, and he attacked an unarmed person. Stabbed him in the heart?
That they don't understand. But we know what this is about.
No, what you don't understand is how self-defense works, okay? You cannot use deadly force when you're presented with a non-lethal threat, okay? You cannot do it, okay? That is like foundational to self-defense. He doesn't understand that if you kill somebody, right? If you kill somebody with a firearm, okay, in a fist fight, yeah, you're probably going to be charged and found guilty with either manslaughter or murder, just depending on the circumstances. They're probably going to get you for something, right? You're probably going to jail, okay? Unless the fist fight escalated to a point where a reasonable person would believe that, okay, like I'm about to die in this moment, right? Like, for example, somebody's just getting pounded on the pavement and, you know, you're banging their head in or whatever. Then, yeah, at that point, you know, you might be justified using a firearm, but just...
So then it wouldn't actually have to do with that, but just the circumstances regarding it. Was it you defending yourself? Was he defending himself? Or was it just he felt violated and decided that taking his life would be a better... Taking the other person's life would be a better ending to the outcome than any other possible solution?
Just a run-of-the-mill, you know, stand-up fist fight, you know, you're probably going to go to jail if you use a firearm, right? And what happened between Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, by all accounts that we actually have, now this could change. You know, I'm open to who knows, right? Who knows what we're going to hear in court, all right? Or what we're going to...
Yeah, it's entirely possible they could have some video evidence that shows him completely justified in this stabbing.
Read about what was said in court in regards to what happened, but based off what we know right now, that was not the case, right? It was Austin Metcalf at most pushed.
I also don't think that attacking either of the families is okay.
Karmelo Anthony, and a push is not deadly force, right? That's not a reason to use deadly force. That's not justified. These guys clearly, when they don't understand, when they're ignorant, the first thing they do is that they cry racism. Well, I don't understand the law, so it must be racist, right? I don't understand how self-defense works, so it must be racist.
See, it could have been a strong shove. Depending on how strong the shove was, depending on how thoroughly he stumbled, he could have hit his head too hard, and I mean, that would just be it. He'd just be done. That's
the logic here. Seriously.
Right? Because black defense against white aggression to them is criminal. And that's the bottom line. That's what this case is about. Black defense against white aggression equals criminality.
Yeah, when you're not acting in self-defense. Yeah, when your use of force is disproportionate.
I mean, isn't it though? Isn't all violence bad? Didn't he engage in violence? Where was the de-escalation? Aren't we supposed to try to find non-violent ways to solve our problems? How is this him finding a non-violent way of getting out of this confrontation? All of a sudden, all of that goes out the window. He should have stabbed that kid. He was completely justified in doing it. And if you think that he wasn't justified in doing it, then there's something wrong with you.
To the force being used against you, then again, it's not defense. Clearly, again, this guy doesn't understand that. But it doesn't matter to him because it's all about race. It's all about race. This is examining the case through the lenses of race rather than the actual facts and reality of what likely happened based off the information that we have right now. Which, again, subject to change based off what comes out in the trial. But as of right now, it don't look good for Karmelo.
That's how they view it. That's how they view it. So please, support Karmelo Anthony. I know he had a GoFundMe some months ago, maybe a year ago, and everybody, He really needs the moral support now. He needs black eyes.
No, he needs actual support. He needs actual evidence that would prove self-defense.
On this case.
He needs the moral support. Even the pro-blacks got tired of donating to him, right? I thought he was about to say, go support the GoFundMe. He not even telling his followers to donate anymore, right? Hey, he need the moral support now, right? He needs thoughts and prayers, right? Thoughts and prayers.
Watching, commenting, making content about it. We need to be talking about this.
Isn't that what making content about it is talking about it?
Grifted off of this, right? That's what he need to be doing. Grifted. Don't notice again. He avoided saying donate money, right? He avoided that part of it. But again, hey, we need to be grifted off of this, right? Let's get this money.
Letting Frisco, Texas know we're watching.
I mean, you're literally making a video. Are you not doing this for the monetary value? Or are you doing it for some other purpose?
Watching. And we don't care if you get mad. Ain't nobody worrying about your threats or what you gonna do, because you're not gonna do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing.
And you ain't gonna do nothing either. So I don't know why you're talking about, hey, we need to let Frisco know that we're watching. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna do anything.
I'm a big supporter of Karmelo Anthony. I'm a big supporter of leaving us alone.
Okay. Since you want to be left alone, why are you here?
I mean, that sounds a lot like isolationism. That sounds a lot like
in America, right? That's what I don't understand about these people. These people drive me insane. I don't get it. Okay, you want to be left alone. Why are you here? If this country's so racist,
why are you on the internet? Going on the internet is not being left alone.
Why are you here? Right?
It's like the antithesis of being left alone.
Like, people never, ever explain if it's so bad, if it's so racist. Why don't you go to a country that doesn't have any whites, right? If white people are the problem. I don't get it.
I mean, that really is the question. Is if you are so afraid of white people, if you have such hatred and disdain for white people, why do you stay? You realize we live in a mixed country, right? There are going to be white people.
But regardless, what you have here is full-blown panic, right? This is panic. Again, he's not even telling his followers to financially support Karmelo, right? That's how down bad Karmelo is at this point. He's like, nah, money not even going to be useful at this point, right? We don't even want to donate to this guy anymore. Thoughts and prayers, right? Thoughts and prayers. So, I mean, we're going to see what happens. In all seriousness, I'm hoping that justice is served. I am hoping that Austin Metcalf's family, again, get the justice that they deserve. Again, right now, it seems like the details that we have don't look good for Karmelo. It does not look like he has a self-defense case. I think most likely they're going to get him on manslaughter, right? I think he will try to play the, I was fearing for my life. Austin Metcalf, big white boy, right? They may...
Even though supposedly he also was an athlete.
Claim that he was being jumped, or maybe his brother kind of being behind him or whatever. Something they'll try to come up with something.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
so that's what I'm
we
saying.
really have to see what their defense is.
I think manslaughter
what case they
is
make.
Likely. Okay, but I hope they get him on murder. Okay, because that's why I think it was a murder. Okay, so we're gonna see. But again, the pro-blacks are panicking, which is always a good sign. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment.
I don't know. I guess I agree that we'll have to see. We'll have to see what evidence both sides have collected. We'll have to see what they actually use as a defense. I don't know.